But is it better for camera if I'm looking there or if I'm looking there?
Over here, the way I have it set up.
Okay. Cool. The media had a huge role. I remember being a little boy watching Top Gun, and I wanted to be Tom Cruise or Val Kilmer, Goose. That's like a really early thing. I remember I used to love G.I. Joe. I used to love. I remember loving like Terminator. So my uncle and a lot of my mom's side of the family were in the armed forces, so I remember worshiping all the sort of army war-related stuff. Yeah, so I mean, media played a huge role. I think in very destructive ways. I think media was not a positive influence on the way that I conceived of masculinity. I think the positive, a lot of it was the source of things that I had to unlearn later. Yeah, I mean the whole guy code, girl code thing is, I mean, bro code, whatever, that's stuff that people have been talking about forever. I mean, so that's nothing new. And I mean, I think it's kind of funny. I mean, in both guy code and girl code, there is a lot of, I feel that, I mean, I watch both those shows. I think there's some really great satire in there. But I don't know if, this is the thing that gets messy. I know Dave Chappelle talked about this. There are times when the audience is not aware of the satire. So you're trying to make a social commentary about something, but it ends up being more destructive than actually, you're being subversive, but it gets interpreted literally instead of what your intent is. So, but I don't know. For me, I think that there's something that there's a lot of really subversive, interesting stuff in the guy code, girl code stuff in there, mixed with some really problematic things, where there are things where they highlight kind of the absurdity of these really rigid gender identities. And I think that this is a very dynamic time for gender. And because of that, I think you see more and more people talking about it, and us recognizing and highlighting the absurdity of us being these robotic, like stoic, emotionally illiterate men, and then these like dainty damsel in distress women. It's like, that's none of us. And I think we're at a point now where it's hard to deny that when you're seeing so many shifting things. We're moving away from a manufacturing economy, so any sort of need for us to be these warrior, robotic, muscular men is kind of just fading away in a new economy. You see, I mean, women are getting a lot more degrees than men right now, and there are a lot more in law school and medical school. So it's like you look at these things and you see that these things are shifting. So I think which I think is a great thing, and hopefully these shows can be a catalyst for these kind of conversations, and not become things to reinforce the destructive ideas of these rigid gender constructs.